We want to write a simple program that uses one function called isEven that basically accepts one numeric parameter, and the program basically prints whether the number is even or odd. But we have a special instruction how to structure our code. For example, the program needs to read the number, not the function, that the function doesn't read anything. Also, the program needs to print information whether the number is odd or even, not the function. The function does not read anything. This is particularly very good strategy to exclude user interactions, like reading and writing information from your functions to make it more portable to other platforms. If you just say inside your functions to use input to read and then print, then your function is bound to only read and print information from the console. That is by default there. What if later on you want to use this function in a web platform and read from, for example, a web page or a data structure, or write or print into a file? If that's the case, you can't use this function. So it's a very good strategy, as I mentioned, to exclude the input and output of your programs from your functions, so we can easily port the functions that you write into other programs. It's also, again, very important to follow specifications of the program precisely. This is software engineering. The engineering aspect of it is mentioned that you must design products that follow a process that is designed based on the process. They follow specific requirements to meet certain quality attributes, and one of them is to follow the specifications. So if you design a program that delivers exactly the same thing but doesn't follow the specifications, then your program is wrong. And I assume this is number 4, correct? So the first thing is basically to obviously define our function. It receives a number, and what basically the function does, it returns true if the number is even. It returns false if the number is odd. And in order to identify a number is even or odd, we need to basically look at the remainder of the division of that number to 2, and we can do that by using mod in our programming language. There are multiple ways to basically implement this function. I'm going to showcase two versions of it. So this is, let's say, this is version 1. So the first version, we just assume the number is even, false. We just assume it's even. Let's say, hey, we have a variable named even, it's true. And then we just say if number mod 2 is not 0, we say, hey, our assumption was false. The number is basically not even, so we just say make even to false. So this is like a flag. So initially we raise the flag, we assume the flag is raised, and down through the program's logic or the function logic, we change our assumption if there is a situation that basically violates our assumption. And then all we can do, we can just say return even. All right? So this is the first version of it. Another version that you may is even v2. The program doesn't ask us to do 2 different versions. I'm just showcasing there are multiple ways to come up with a solution for specific programs. All we do here, we just say if num mod 2 is 0, then return true, else return false. So we have two returns here, but only one of them will be executed, not two of them. So if the number mod 2 is 0, that means the number is even, the program just concludes with returning true. Otherwise, it's going to conclude with returning false. Both of them are completely functional. So either solution that you prefer, you can just go ahead and use it. Now, inside our main program, we obviously need to read the number. So it's an integer. And then we call the function. The function returns true and false. We can either store it and then print it, or just put it directly inside another if statement and print the statement that we want accordingly. For example, we can just say call is even. Let's say try version 1 first, and that's num. Then the number is even. Print num is even. Else print num is odd. Okay. And this has to be here. Okay. Enter a number 5. 5 is odd. Enter a number 6. 6 is even. So we are using the first version. This is this version. Let's use the second version now. 5 and 6. So there are always multiple ways to implement a solution for your software. You need to find which one you feel more comfortable and which ones meet certain other requirements to implement.